Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. We're talking today about a 3% yielding stock in a sector that I don't own. Lanny doesn't own. Historically, we've never stayed away from it. The question is, can the metrics convince us to finally move some cash off the sidelines into a company in this sector, and in particular, this one dividend stock?
Smash the heck out of that subscribe button. Give Bert and I a nice thumbs up.
Boom.
Yeah, an industry that we usually don't recommend. We're probably not going to recommend, but we'll see. We'll see what is
Yeah.
under the hood of this stock. That is going to be the question as the stock market stays on fire, as things just keep staying interesting. We didn't even make a comment yet about last week's Roaring Kitty, making things interesting here in the stock market for those meme stocks. Don't worry, this isn't anything about a meme stock, but we'll have to find out.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk to you about an auto company. We're talking Honda, ticker symbol HMC. The cars of not my household, Lanny's household. Here, Lanny, what kind of rides does your household have?
You better believe I'm rocking a 167,000-mile Honda Accord. And my wife, we have about 100, somewhere close to 105,000 Honda CRV, guys. Two Honda household, two used cars, but we hold $0 in auto loans, baby.
Same here. We're fully paid off. We're just in the Toyota side. We're Toyota Camry, Toyota RAV4. So basically the exact same thing, just on the Toyota side of the house.
Just on the Toyota side.
Yeah, but to me, they're pretty similar companies in the sense of like reliability, price range. They're the same kind of vehicle. So today we're going to look at Honda. Everybody let us know. Are you a Honda Toyota family too? Or are you different? Let us know. We'd love to hear that in the comments section.
Cleveland Cavs, guys, let them know. So yeah, we're talking about Honda Motor Cars, HMC. And pretty interesting industry, obviously heavily dominated in the news, at least from Tesla and Rivian and all the other electric EV vehicles that are out there. Heavily dominated. But the question is, when you peel back those layers, could Honda Motor Cars be a great stock to own in your dividend stock portfolio?
Yeah, so let's go through their earnings release here. It's always interesting because they're a Japanese company, so figures are in yen. So we're not going to spend too much time getting into the nuts and bolts of it, but they announced a 77% increase in the operating profits. Sales were up by 21%. The big thing that you catch out here with Honda, and the thing that jumps right off the page with you, is where are they investing that money? What kind of cars are coming in the pipeline? The answer, hybrid. It's hybrid, and we were just talking about that here. It's not all electric. It's not all fuel. They're focusing a lot in their hybrid lane. You want to talk about some of those hybrid investments that Honda's making?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about hybrid right now because they're finding that maybe the electric vehicles are waning a little bit right now. They actually sold about 3 million hybrid cars this past, time period, up from the 2.3 million. And then not only that, but our good old friends up north in Canada, they're building an $11 billion battery plant for the hybrids. And all the hybrid, videos are produced in Marysville, Ohio.
Yeah, yeah. That's the car plant. All the vehicles are getting produced down there in Marysville. So that's what's exciting. Honda's a huge presence here in Ohio. A lot of car companies are in Ohio because of how close they are to Detroit and how close they are to some of the other major pieces. So that's what's
But
fun.
Honda's here because they're close to land.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with Honda. And in addition, they announced a massive share buyback program, 300 billion yens. Yeah, that's pretty much it with Honda. They have okay guidance, which is why the stock price went down after earnings. So that's pretty much it. Below expectations. Overall, Honda pushing into hybrid, putting a lot of money to work, a lot of money invested in batteries, and getting ready to pump hybrids out. So that's the name of the game with Honda.
It's the pump, guys. But there's this here to pump up your stock portfolio because, I mean, this is one of the biggest dominant players out there. And if Honda's not just Honda as well, it's the Acura family too. So there's just a lot happening underneath the hood at Honda. And, again, it's not an industry that is talked heavily here on any investing or dividend investing channel. Before we get into the metrics, Bert and I do want to say, like, it's a capital intensive, labor stricken, business, especially when you work with the unions.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise that goes into it, and there's a lot. It banks a lot on consumers. And the other piece we were talking about is just how expensive new cars are. So, like, sure, is it hard to get through inventory, but it's not a cheap product, and consumers are stretching their dollars. You see auto loans that are what, 84-month, Lanny? You see long auto loans, people stretch them out to make sure that they can afford these new expensive cars, because all these new technologies, all these new safety features, all the fancy stuff that comes with hybrid don't come for free. It costs money, and the cost of a car has jumped through the roof, and that's what makes this such a tough sector. They're very dependent on the consumer.
Yeah, yeah, I can't argue there, guys. So let's dive into the metrics. It's crazy that, again, Honda only trades at $33.24 at the time of this video, which is, we are filming it on May 19th at night.
Yeah, that gives them a PE ratio of 12.74 when you use the forward earnings on Seeking Alpha. In that payout ratio, the annual dividend's $1.02, but it was really tough to find any one consistent source that told you what Honda's dividend is. Sometimes it was 102, sometimes it was in the 80 cents, sometimes it was in the 90s. So I just said, screw it, we're gonna have some fun, go with the highest. Payout ratio is still low, no matter what the final answer is for Honda. It's a 39% payout ratio.
Dividend growth is very interesting to track because of the currency translation and conversions. And, that's part of the reason why I always get frustrated with foreign companies, because of the inconsistencies with the dividend. But about 2%,
Yeah.
Maybe the old school inflation number.
That's pretty much what their dividend looks like. And they have some noise. They switch from quarterly to semi-annual dividend payments too. So they're just flip-flopping all over the place with the dividend. And as we announced in the intro, their yield is 3.07%, which is below their 5-year average yield of 3.54% by about 47 basis points.
Interesting. So definitely not there right now on the
No.
yield.
We entered this, yeah, as I say, we entered this video asking, is this going to be the company that gets us off the sidelines and into investing in auto companies? And Lanny, what's your gut reaction?
I just don't see this industry taking off. I think this is, hey, 5 years, 32%. It's kind of like your most blue chip auto player out there. It's not as volatile, obviously, as Tesla, not as volatile as Ford. They're selling millions and millions of vehicles every single year. I don't see that going away. The reliability, durability, consistency of the vehicle in and of itself, I think, is there. Again, those Japanese vehicles are just awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not a buyer just because of the industry. I just don't like the auto industry.
Yep, I'm not either, and this isn't the one to get me off the sideline here. I'd much rather play in the like the genuine parts company, the company that sells the secondary parts to all the cars. That to me is a much better play on the auto industry. I continue to think that until you find a company that has better metrics than Honda, that actually has a long-term history of showing the dividend, no matter what you're going to say, you're not going to get me off the sideline from there. So unfortunately, while Honda's metrics look great, just not for me right now. It's not enough to move me off the sideline.
Did the needle move for you guys? Do you guys own Honda Motor Cars stock, HMC, or do you guys own Ford? Do you own Tesla? What auto industry stock do you own, if you own any, guys? Let us know definitely in those comments below.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and remember, if you're not with us, you're against us. Jack.
That was Bert, and this is your boy Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.